Well, you just can't reiterate enough around the cost element. It's great to talk about security, but if it's going to cost more, it just doesn't fly in today's marketplace. And whether it be government or on the commercial side of the equation, it's the same type of thing. I think the other big benefit of having a strong multi-factor authentication approach for the identity and access management piece is that we get away from relying on policy. And one of our big discussion points quite often with organizations is when we expect human beings to be perfect, we inevitably create issues and there's vulnerabilities with it.
Sure.
And I think technology today, if deployed accurately and in the right way, actually does a very good job of reducing vulnerabilities. And when we go to this whole subject matter that we're talking about today, I ultimately think it's about reducing vulnerabilities. When we talk about national security interests, we're talking about reducing risk.
Sure.
And why we want a strong identity and access management program, again, it goes back to, are we giving the right entitlements and access to the right people? So I think what we're often talking to our clients about and why they're embracing the MobiKey solution that we provide into the marketplace, yes, we save money, but we're giving a better approach to reducing vulnerabilities and
Right.
risk. And there's clearly laggards and leaders within government or business, but the players that we're talking with and we work with quite a bit are very progressive around the subject matter. And I often get, my last point, I often get asked and say, well, what's the industry doing? Where do they stack up against our federal government? And I like to point out that some of the best leadership is within Washington, is within our federal government, and that we should be quite proud of the things we're doing, because business has different drivers, but I think our government here is, on a whole, doing a very good job of trying to embrace and address vulnerabilities with digital information.
Yeah, terrific. And my understanding is with your solution, you keep the data behind the firewall. Even though the machines are away from the office, the data itself remains with the same security.
Yeah, Jim, there's two principles we agree on. Is that one, you don't give entitlement or access till you're 100% sure who's asking for it. The second thing is we're kind of old school around this, and that data is best protected behind your wall. Why should it go beyond your firewall or your network perimeter? If you can give the same tools or capabilities to the user and that data stays where you've put the investment in to protect it, it's a better way of addressing the situation.
Right. And I would